Hey guys, how you doing? Eric at SoCal Cigars here. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I know I am. Why am I having a fantastic day? Well, look behind me. The weather is crap, which is awesome. When you grew up in Southern California like I have, and every day is 70 degrees and blue skies, this is great. I know most people are envious of our weather, but when it's the same thing all the time, it gets really boring. So a lot of us here are more envious of seasons and rain and snow and wind and the occasional thunderstorm and lightning. So for us, that's maybe 10 to 15 days a year, and it's so this to me has been awesome. We've been dealing with kind of a little heat wave where we had a few days up into like 112 degrees. So this is great. To me, this is perfect cigar weather. Perfect come outside and sit and relax and chill and not sweat your butt off. And so anyway, it inspired me to come out and do a thing I normally don't do on my channel. If you notice, is I don't do a lot of cigar reviews, but I felt very compelled to do a review on a specific cigar, and it's the Deadwood series. So I by looking online a little bit, I realized it's not like it's a brand new cigar, but it's new to me, and I'm pretty up on cigars, so it was kind of a sleeper. I was in Missouri, and my cousin Jake, we were talking about cigars like we often do, and him and I usually go around to different cigar shops in Missouri. And he's like, "Yeah, you've got to try this Deadwood." And there's the Sweet Jane, and there's the Crazy Alice, and there's the Fat Bottom Betty. And I'm like, "Okay, so let's do it." Well, everywhere we went, they're sold out, and I'm like, "Oh crap, that's a bummer." You're telling me about this killer cigar I'm going to dig, and we can't find it. Well, it's popular, everywhere you go, it's gone. And so, I'm back at the farm. He's a firefighter paramedic, so he's on shift. And I guess he gets off shift. He comes up, comes to the farm where his folks live and where we're staying, and pulls out a plastic bag with 4 cigars in it. He found a shop that had all 4 of the cigars. I'm like, awesome. So I'm like, thinking, okay, it'll be good. It's, they're associated with Drew Estates, which I'll get into that in a minute, because I, at that point, couldn't figure out, is this a Drew Estate cigar? Is it Deadwood? How does that work? What's going on here? What am I going to expect in like a flavor profile if I'm used to Drew Estate stuff? Where does this fit in? So anyway, we light this thing up, and I was like, oh my gosh. I go, this is amazing. And it's been a long time since I've been introduced to a cigar that I wasn't really aware of, and was completely blown away by. And now I've turned this cigar on to several other people, and they're just like, oh my God, thank you for telling me about the cigar. This is amazing. So anyway, I want to review that cigar. And so I got a few things I got to figure out. Okay, so I know most people are into pairing your cigars with something. So I grabbed a few things that might be on the table for pairing with this. So one thing I could pair it with, I guess, would be like a Johnny Walker Blue Label. This is, I think it was about $180 a bottle. And there's not a lot left, but there's enough, right? But I don't know, I'm not sure. Let's see, what else could we could maybe, oh, here we go. We could maybe do a Macallan 18. This is almost $300 a bottle. Maybe that would match good, No, let's see. I think I'm gonna have to go to one of my old standby favorite cigar pairing drinks of all time. Not as expensive, but fantastic. Mountain Dew. So let's crack this bad boy open. Ooh, it's good. I think it's a 2020. It's fresh. So yeah, you can start blasting me in the comments, and I get it. But to be honest with you, myself and a lot of my friends, I don't drink that much anymore. In the heyday of my youth, I drank enough to last me a lifetime, partying and stuff. Now, I don't know, man. I'm just not that into it. I just, I don't find it as enjoyable to drink anymore. Hangovers get worse, things like that. So do I indulge? Yes. These are my bottles. And to be honest with you, these were both gifted to me. I didn't spend $300 on a bottle because it's, something I normally wouldn't do. And even the Blue Label, I wouldn't have spent $180 on that either. But really good friend of mine had gifted those to me, and I appreciate it very much. And they're both very, very good whiskeys. But to be honest with you, and you'll actually see this if you look online enough, a good pairing for those who don't drink alcohol is soda. And a lot of times it's a vanilla cream soda is what's recommended. But to be honest, man, I love a Mountain Dew. And so for me, especially to me with a flavored cigar or infused cigar that has flavor beyond your average normal tobacco blend, something sweet like a soda with sugar in it actually goes quite well. So I'm down with that. So yeah, feel free to tear me apart in the comments. I don't mind, because I know a lot of people are like, are you kidding me? You know, you could have a bitchin' whiskey and you're going to have a freaking Mountain Dew. Yeah, whatever. It's my gig. It's what I like to do. And that's what I encourage you guys to do too, especially if you're a non-drinker. I'm not a non-drinker, but I just don't drink very much. So for me, I do what I enjoy. And to have a soda with my cigar is more enjoyable. So that's what I'll do. Anyway, so what I ended up doing was I bought some of these Deadwood Fat Bottom Bettys, and I had a hard time finding them again. And they were everywhere I go, they're sold out. I'm like, that's why it almost feels to me like it's a new cigar on the scene that everyone's freaking out over, because you just can't seem to find it. Everywhere it's just listed as back order. But Cigars International had them again. So this is now going to be the second box of these I bought. And let me tell you what I did too. This is kind of cool. Cigars International, like if you've seen my other videos about like online deals. So, and I've taken some notes, so I'm going to look down a little bit. So sorry for that if it's rude, but I want to make sure I get the data to you guys right. So this box of 10 from Cigars International, which is the Fat Bottom Betty Robustos, is $73.78. But the deal they had was, I think I got free shipping. And if you added another $1, you got this 5-pack of Drew Estate cigars. And you got in here, you get a Kentucky Fire Cured. You get a Kentucky Fire Cured Muat, which I think they used to call the Swamp Thing, because it's basically the same as the Fire Cured, but it's got a Candela wrapper on the bottom. Hope you can see this. It's kind of dark out here. You get one of the Naturals, which I love. You get the Natural Dirt Torpedo, which is one of my favorite cigars. And then you also get a Sweet Baby Jane. So you get the one of the other in the series of the Deadwood cigars. So that was another $1, and you got this 5-pack. So that's a fantastic deal, because I think the value on this was something like $70 or whatever. So I think that's great that they do that. Anyway, let's open this little bad boy up and take a look. You know, it's a nice presentation. They've got really cool graphics. That was one of the cool things that they always talk about with Drew Estates, is the presentation's always nice. The graphics are always killer. If you've ever seen videos of their factory or whatever, man, they have killer like graffiti artwork all over the place that they've had people do. It's really cool stuff. So anyway, let's pull one of these little little suckers out of here. And I guess, given that while I'm reviewing, we're going to have a little bit of time together, I will then go over some of the notes I took and kind of fill you in on a little bit of what this cigar is about. So let's get this going, so we're not here all day watching me smoke a cigar. I could never resist smelling a cigar when I first opened it. I'm just fantastic. Just smells fantastic. Colibri Deep V, like a video I just did. I'm gonna go ahead and quick little snip. Love me a Deep V cut. In fact, let me get it so you can see. Okay. Lighter, I told you I always carry. So we're going to do a little toast off. And now this one's got the where they kind of fold over a little bit of the extra leaf on the end. So it's kind of like not quite a pigtail, but they kind of do that. So it makes it a little harder to pre-light. So we'll just get this lit. It'll take a couple times to light, because it's got that extra tobacco that's actually blocking the foot of the cigar. So the first few pulls. So the first thing you'll notice, if you're a Drew Estate fan like I am, is it's really sweet. It feels as if they've added some kind of sweet chemical to the outer wrapper, and it just has this really nice flavor in your mouth. I mean, my whole mouth is now filled with this sweet. I mean, this may be a turnoff if you're not into this kind of cigar, but it's almost like a sugary sweet taste. It's just awesome. Thus, pairing it with a soda, I'm just telling you, it's the perfect combo. Maybe not, another cigar maybe would have a cup of coffee, another cigar I would maybe have whiskey. To be honest with you, if I'm going to drink a $200-300 bottle of whiskey with a cigar, I'm probably going to do it like with a Cohiba or a Cuban or, Atabey or, a Behike or something that's, to me that warrants it. But when I'm smoking like an aromatic cigar that's got infusing and stuff, I have no problem matching it with something like sweet, like a soda. It's so good. It's so smooth. It's so creamy. I'm not a bitter, peppery cigar guy. Obviously, I think that's why I gravitate so much towards like Drew Estate and the acid line, because it's so sweet, and that's really my flavor profile. I mean, if I had to blend the perfect cigar, which down the road I'm going to, I want to expand the SoCal Cigars thing, and we'll talk about that down the road. But I've already reserved the website. I've already talked to someone who's maybe a potential partner in crime, and I'd like to come out with maybe my own line of cigars, and eventually, I think down the road, what I'd like to really do is have a cigar shop somewhere. So anyway, that's down the road, but that's kind of the end game for me. But yeah, it's so smooth and so creamy. Like I said, for me, I think the perfect cigar combination would be something with a very heavy flavor of vanilla. I'm just a total vanilla freak. And so if I'm going to have a cigar that's got any kind of sweetness to it, to me that creamy vanilla flavor is just really what hits it for me. But as you can see, the construction on these is magnificent. The wrapping on the cap is just fantastic. I mean, you look at the cigar and there's not a blemish on it. It just is. It's just beautifully constructed. And again, this is the Fat Bottom Betty, and it's the Robusto size. Oh, it's fantastic. So, while I'm smoking this, and we'll let the cigar. We'll get into the cigar a little deeper. Here's what I found out online by looking into this, because the first question I had was, I'm like, well, is this Deadwood or is this Drew Estates, or how's this working? So my cousin Jake, when they were on vacation, they were in Deadwood, South Dakota, and they had gone into a place that was called Deadwood Tobacco Company and Cigar Bar, and that's where he ran into these cigars. And he's like, yeah, that must be it. And I'm thinking, okay, well, it must be Deadwood Cigar Company or whatever, or Deadwood Tobacco Company. That must be who owns this, and maybe they're marketing through Drew Estates or something. Man, this thing is, I'm just telling you, it's a fantastic cigar. And like I said, I've already told a few friends about it, and they've texted me back saying, one of my buddies, Elia, is in New York. So, hey, shout out to my buddy. He's an awesome dude. We talk cigars a lot, and I've turned him on to a few cigars. And this one, he's like, oh my Lord, this is amazing. Kind of like, thank you for turning me on to the cigar, because now it's one of his, he said it's probably the best cigar he's ever smoked. So I'm just telling you, that's why I'm doing this review, because I'm so impressed with the cigar. Anyway, so I started thinking, well, how is Deadwood and Drew Estates tied together? So what it looks like is before 1996 in New York, Drew Estate, Jonathan Drew, before a Drew Estate actually came into existence in 1996. So before that, in 95 and earlier, it was like, I think you called it Jonathan Drew Industries or something like that. You'd have to look it up, but it's not that important. But it didn't become Drew Estates until 1996. So apparently there was a trade show type convention going on, and he ran into Miss Vaughn Boyd from South Dakota, who had the Deadwood Tobacco Company and Cigar Bar. So at that point, he was looking to start, his company and get that rolling. So I think at this event, he was looking to, get more and more vendors that were going to help carry his product and start getting the word out, right? So it looks like what ended up happening is at this trade show, that Miss Vaughn Boyd and the Deadwood Tobacco Company became one of the first of the 14 retailers that were working with Jonathan Drew to get the whole ball rolling in his cigar line. So that's how that works. So it doesn't look as if Drew Estates owns Deadwood, and I may be wrong on this because I couldn't actually figure that out. But it looks as if nothing else, they're working in tandem together. So Deadwood is their own thing, and I guess he worked directly with them on this original blend. And it looks like the original blend was the Sweet Jane, which I think is the oldest of the line, and it's one of the originals. Or it was the original blend that they worked on together as she became one of the retailers that was going to carry his stuff. So the original group was what they called the Three Yummy Bitches, okay? And that was the Sweet Jane, and then later came the Fat Bottom Betty in 2013. Then came Crazy Alice in 2014, and then now, and I couldn't find this, I don't know if it was 2019 or 2020, and then so the latest addition, now the fourth in the lineup, is what's called the Leather Rose. So there were three, the Three Yummy Bitches. Now there's four, but with this latest edition. So, and what I did, because I kind of looked, and if you know anything about Drew Estates, they're pretty secretive about how they do things in their blends and all that. I'm telling you, this cigar stays creamy and smooth and silky. There's no bite, there's no bitterness, there's no pepper, there's no burnt feeling, tasting, there's nothing. This is like one of the more, I almost feel weird saying this, it's like almost like a perfect cigar in my opinion, for me. But it's what I like. So this thing is, if I could take what I like in a cigar and basically wrap it up into one cigar, so far this is it. I mean, this is dead nuts hits my wheelhouse on cigars. So when I looked it up, so it looks like these are all from Nicaragua. All of them except one is rocking just a normal Maduro wrapper. I'm assuming from Nicaragua, but the Leather Rose, which is the new one, it looks as if it's a combination of a what was it? It was a Maduro and Brazil. It was a Brazilian Maduro wrapper. I'm sorry. So instead of I'm assuming a Nicaraguan wrapper that was a Maduro, the Leather Rose actually has a Brazilian Maduro. So I'm not sure yet what that. I haven't got the Leather Rose yet, so I'm not sure what that is. But and apparently they list the Sweet Jane, the Fat Bottom Betty, and the Crazy Alice, all as having a Maduro wrapper with aromatic and exotic tobaccos for a natural sweetness. So I think it's going through their normal process of their blue line of acids. I think that I don't know if they didn't necessarily bring up botanical oils, but they did talk about an aromatic and exotic blend of tobaccos. So it could be that what they're referring to is what they are doing normally, from what I understand, is using different botanical oils in the curing process of the tobacco before they blend. And that would make sense because this fits right in that wheelhouse. This almost feels like it's a mixture from like the Natural Dirt Torpedo line, which is a fantastic cigar, and like the blue line, like a Cuba Cuba or a Deep Dish. Now see, now I'm starting to taste a little more, because I don't want this to also be like a single note cigar that really doesn't develop. But now I'm starting to taste a little bit more. I'm trying to nail what that is. Still, the overpowering feeling of this is creamy, sweet, smooth. I don't know, maybe I'm starting to get almost like a little bit of like an earthy taste through it. Kind of a woody, earthy taste. So that's starting to come through as well. I mean, because I'm not that far into it. I'm still in the first quarter. So we'll let this develop some more. I won't run too long. I'll pause this, and I'm almost done with my little notes here. In fact, I think I am done. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had written down. Is that there's now a fourth. Looks like the first three. This is now an addition, so now there's four in this Deadwood line. So as of now, I would say I can't recommend this highly enough. Fantastic cigar if this is in your wheelhouse. Now, if you're a straight cigar guy that you don't like any flavoring, you don't like any sweetness, and you just want regular tobacco, this won't be your gig. So, for example, I would say if you don't like the Cuba Cuba, you're probably not going to like this either, because it's got the same kind of characteristics of sweetness that you're going to get in that acid blue line of cigars. So if you are strictly a normal tobacco straight blend, like a Cohiba type person, Davidoff or whatever, this may not be in your wheelhouse. But if you like that line at all, believe me, do yourself a favor, you're going to absolutely love this. Get a hit of my dew. Oh yeah, see, that's what a combo. I'm telling you, it's just awesome. I'm trying to retrohale this a little bit too, so I can get a little more of the flavoring out of it. Yeah, but that's what I'd say. I'd say right now it's really creamy, really sweet, and I'm getting a little hint of a very subtle, like a woody, earthy little side note. Not overpowering, just really smooth. I guess the number one thing I got to say about this is it's just extremely smooth. I mean, you could smoke I feel like I could smoke 5 of these things in a day. Anyway, I don't want to bore the crap out of you. I know I'm already at 21 minutes on this video, which I know a lot of these review videos are never this long, so sorry about that. I have a tendency to make long videos. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this now, and I'll wait till I get deeper into this thing, and then we'll pick it back up, and I'll let you know. I'll just kind of give you another, a final thought on this thing, but I've smoked enough of these now to know the cigar is not going to change a whole lot. It's going to continue to be like this. It's not an overly complex cigar, but it's a fantastic cigar, and it's going to stay very consistent. And I've noticed this one too is one where you can pretty much get down and tear the band off and keep smoking it down to almost nothing. In fact, when I was in Missouri last, my cousin Jacob, he had smoked the thing down where it was almost, it was pretty much burning his fingers. And he's like, it's still good, because sometimes you get either to the band or a little bit past the band. It's not often I smoke past the back side of the band. To me, this part of the cigar gets kind of bitter because it sort of becomes the filter for the whole smoke, and it gets kind of bitter, and the tobacco's heating up at that point. But this one you can get down to a damn nub and it still tastes great. So anyway, I'll pause it here so we don't end up with a 10-hour video on one cigar, and we'll be back in a second, and I will give you my final thoughts on this thing. So hang tight. Okay, yeah, I'm back. As you can see, I'm getting closer down to the wrapper now. Still smooth, still creamy, still got a lot of woody overtones, little notes. Yeah, it doesn't... So I'd say it's not the most complex cigar on the planet, but I think that if you like this flavor, you'll kind of be glad it doesn't change much. And it's got plenty of notes there. Like I said, it's creamy, it's smooth, it's there's a sweetness to it, there's a woody aspect to it, a kind of an earthy feel. So it's not like this is by no means is a single note cigar. Not crazy complex, but to me, I'm kind of glad it's not. I like how it tastes, and I kind of don't want it to drift off too far. So for me, it does that. Out the gate, I like that you get that really sweet hit because it kind of sets the tone. And then after that, if you're not a huge fan of that level of sweetness, this does even out on the sweetness. Like right now, when I take a hit off this, I'm not getting that sweetness anymore. I haven't hotboxed this cigar, so I didn't really heat the tobacco up, so it stayed really consistent. I could easily remove the band and keep smoking this thing all the way down. I'd say if nothing else, this cigar stays really, really consistent. And again, the burn has been great. The construction's great. The draw is perfect. Yeah, I can't say enough other than if you think this is remotely in your wheelhouse, go for it. You'll love it. If you're not sure, I still probably wouldn't go out of the way of saying pick one up, a single, at a cigar shop and give it a shot. I might be surprised, because a few of my friends I've turned this on to, they're pretty much regular cigar smokers, not infused or any kind of sweetening aspect to it, and they love it too. So this one might surprise you. So I would say give it a go. Anyway, I'm going to continue to enjoy this awesome crappy weather. Hope you guys are enjoying your day. Sorry this is so long. I know I have a tendency to make a little bit too long of videos, but it's kind of ironic. When I watch YouTube, I actually like the longer videos, because sometimes they're so short that I feel like I could have got more out of it. So I try to balance not making them too long and getting everything in there I want to get in there. So maybe leave a comment if you'd rather have me make shorter videos, or if you're okay with the lengths I do, let me know. I mean, I always appreciate the feedback, and you guys give me a lot of good feedback, so that's great. Anyway, grab a Fat Bottom Betty, give it a go. Leave me a comment if you do try it, and let me know what you think. But I will at least tell you this, as of now, anyone I've recommended this cigar to has been thanking me that I did. So hopefully that will be the same experience you have. Anyway, Eric at SoCal Cigars. Please like and subscribe if you got something out of this. Share my videos, let people know I'm out here, because that helps. And again, feel free to leave a comment. I answer all my comments. So if you make a comment, it may take me a couple days, but I will get to you, and I will definitely respond back. So anyway, enjoy, have a great weekend, and I will see you on the next video.